Welcome aboard Couch Beers Airlines, your flight 1542 service to Tallahassee, Florida. We got our flight computer showing us about 1 hour and 42 minutes till we touch down. You guys now just sit back, relax, enjoy the flight, have a cocktail, and us. Welcome aboard.
So what are we drinking here, Tim?
This is I don't know what it's actually called. It's just labeled Choco Rasp, like chocolate raspberry.
Presumably.
It's from Truth or Consequences.
Is that the name of the brewery, or is it just the city?
Truth or Consequences Brewery, yes.
Oh. T or C, baby.
T
are you
or
a T
C.
guy or are you a C guy?
I'm all about the truth.
Nothing
Gotta
but
say.
it, baby. Should have been in law.
So this is a 36-ounce can. The only thing that's tough about these cans is they're like impossible to pour without spilling.
Well, use two hands. Come on, man.
Well, I got a microphone.
I can
in the
hold
other
it.
hand.
Come on. What the heck? We didn't.
I'm a disappointment. Good thing I don't think this is on camera. I don't think you can see this.
You are wrong.
Wow, that's a lot of head.
I like a lot of head.
Yeah.
Do you know how to pour a beer, or?
Yeah, like this. I learned at the Heineken Brewery
Academy
in
in Heineken land.
Amsterdam. I think it was Heineken, right? I should know. I was there.
Yeah, you should know.
Actually, there's a
there.
bottle. Yeah,
That you
right
can't
here.
find conveniently.
It's right here. It's got my name on it from the brewery.
Yeah. For all you
Fun fact.
listeners, sorry, continue.
No, that was my fun fact.
Gonna say, for you listeners, you might have to pull up the video and see, a comparable video from the previous podcast episode to this one and see what are the differences. Look at the images. Besides our clothing, that doesn't count. But just let us know what the noticeable differences are, and maybe you're wrong, maybe you're right. We'll let you know.
I honestly did not know what you were alluding to, and we talked about it 2 minutes ago.
2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Are you? Now I gotta make sure I'm not on camera. Are you talking about this?
Yeah, I think you are on
Okay.
camera. But yeah.
There's no way. No, I was hiding.
I could see you pour the beverage of T or C.
Just barely. Maybe you could. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, that's not bad. Very raspberry at the end.
I need my notes. Excuse me. So one of the things, as long as I'm standing up, that I had written down, I got a new guitar. Did you see that?
I saw that. I saw that it's also signed by Corey Wong, which is pretty
It is
pretty
not,
rare. So.
But actually, this is not a Fender Stratocaster, but it's a Stratocaster style. I'm showing it to the camera right now.
Throw your hips into it. Yeah,
it's a
strong.
Yamaha Pacifica, but I like it. It's got like the quilted maple look.
Quilted.
Yeah, it's kind of fancy.
So yeah, I know you were teaching yourself guitar, and now you're going to be performing on the First Ave side stage.
No, I only perform private shows.
Oh, that sounds like
my
cash
pants,
only kind of gig.
No, my pants stay on.
Oh, I was not alluding to that. But it's funny that you say that.
You can pay me in any form of monetary payment you like.
Any form.
Yes.
Are we going back to the barter system, or can I pay you in Monopoly money?
You can attempt to pay me with any kind of money, but I can turn you down.
Oh.
That's right.
Well, get your notes, dude. You Mr. Stand Up Man.
I stood up and then I was going to show my
sat back
guitar,
down.
and then I didn't grab my iPad. I don't think the microphone's
Here, I'll hold your
long enough to
microphone.
reach.
Should I just kill time while you find it, or
Do it.
All right. Well, you found it right away. I was gonna go into a story, but I decided not to. So.
Yeah, I knew where it was, just out of reach.
Classic.
Unfortunately. Anyway, I think we have one set of fact checkers.
Oh, let's bring that up.
As long as we're starting here. My brother Evan said, a pirate parlay is the term. Wait. I think he partially copied this from Wikipedia and partially wrote himself. So this sentence doesn't make any sense. But
Oh, it's ChatGPT then.
that also is possible. It says a pirate parlay is the term written as parlay on the Pirata Codex. Was also known as a rite in the code of the pirate brethren, set down by Morgan and Bartholomew, that allowed any person to invoke temporary protection and brought before the captain to negotiate without being attacked until the parlay is complete.
Which is a negotiation, right?
Yeah.
So if the captain was in a less receptive mood, probably wouldn't do anything.
Right.
Unless
I
he could
think,
offer something.
Like
to the
in
captain.
Pirates of the Caribbean, Jack Sparrow calls a parlay.
Yeah.
And then they don't kill him and take him to the captain guy.
Yep. And that's a pirate code.
Fancy.
A band of thieves have a code of ethics. Is that what's the word? Contradictory, or what's the a band of thieves has a code of ethics. Does that make sense? Isn't it kind of contrary to?
It's an oxymoron.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. I was like, that's
Took me a while to get there.
Thank you.
I was singing "Isn't It Ironic" in my head.
Isn't it ironic? I don't know if that's how it goes.
I don't think that's right.
Okay.
The other thing he said, I won't read the whole thing, but basically we didn't know where the name Bollywood came from. It was from Bombay, which is now Mumbai, India.
So maybe it should be
Mollywood?
Mollywood, yeah. Or, that sounds.
You were
going
to say Mommy Wood.
Mumbai wood, which was a little syllabalistic.
Nope.
Okay.
Bollywood.
That's the only fact checker, huh?
Yep.
Well,
I was like, oh, somebody must have emailed it. Nope. No emails.
I think, and so that's good. Thank you, fact checkers. That was great because
You're always learning stuff.
I'm assuming. So who are those two people, Mitchell and Morgan?
That was Evan and Evan.
No. Mitchell and Morgan in the. Those are the captains, like pirates? Is that who they were?
Morgan and Bartholomew.
So are those captains? Captain Morgan?
Some special pirates. I don't know.
Oh, special.
They get to write the code of
Butt
the
pirates?
brethren.
Oh.
No, I think they're just normal pirates.
Well, I don't know. One did spiced rum.
Probably.
I think that's right.
Jack
okay.
Sparrow.
There you go. Why is the rum gone? Cool.
I did. So we were at a birthday gathering this last weekend. You and I were there together. One of the people there, I won't say who it was because she didn't tell me whether or not I could say this was her. But she said she listens to every episode, and this was her one sentence review. I don't know what you're talking about most of the time, but I love how passionate you are about it. Which is just perfect. Like that should be like our little
slogan.
Tagline.
Put that on a bumper sticker. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm passionate about it.
Yeah. So I love that. I wanted to share it with you.
I think I know who that is, and
yeah, I mean it's pretty easy to guess.
We have good conversations. She and I. What I love about it too is she was devastated. Did she tell you about the devastation?
About Belinda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So beautiful. So shout out to
mystery listener number 1.
Yeah. I don't know if we should. I mean, we first name. Well, we can give her like a call sign. Callie.
Callie. Okay.
That's an IE at the end.
Like
just,
C-A-L-L-I-E?
No, just an I at the end.
C-A-L-I?
C-A-L-L-I.
Okay.
Or K-A. Oh, that sounds cringy. No, it's
I don't
K.
think
C.
No, I don't think it can be
Callie.
Callie.
Why?
It's got to be something different.
Okay. What do you suggest? Christy? She's not a Christy.
No.
She's a Callie, I think.
All right.
She's kind of spicy.
We can go with Callie.
Wouldn't you describe Callie as spicy, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she's full of spice.
Yeah.
And everything nice.
I agree.
Anyway, yeah, Callie's awesome. I love her. So, should we explain the devastation, or that's kind of your wheelhouse? It's up to you.
No, because
Okay.
then we would have to
Invoke the parlay.
We'd have to reveal one of the bits that we do regularly. It's a continuous bit that we've had on this show.
LinkedIn cringingness?
No, no.
Okay, I'll table it.
Never mind.
Should we just go offline real quick?
Sure. We can't do that. Can't do
That's
it.
cool. That's cool.
Top secret.
So, Callie, thank you for listening. Do you watch or just listen? Just let us know.
That's a good question. Because I'm always curious. I think. So, I mean, this is public information because YouTube has their views public. Usually we get like, I don't know, like less than 100 views on YouTube. But I don't think most of those are people that we know.
And
I think most people just listen to it.
And my question is, if I'm an elitist and I have YouTube Premium and don't have ads,
Yeah.
and I can listen, I can pull up YouTube videos and make my phone dark and still have the video play.
Correct.
Does that count as a view?
Yes.
Because I just don't know.
I would think so.
Because I'm viewing the audio. I'm not viewing the video.
Right. But I think it's still because it's still playing the video in the background. Yeah.
I could get my head around that. So okay, I'm glad we discussed that. And
one of the other things we talked about this weekend is you had a controversial LinkedIn poll.
I don't think it's controversial. Is it controversial?
The way you were describing the story sounded pretty.
Okay, let me lay it all out.
Lay the groundwork.
The whole situation.
Yeah.
If you may.
Yeah.
Just a little bit because I know we're splitting this.
I gotta put my microphone down.
Please do. You need both hands for this. I'm going to narrate this. He is grabbing the beer with his right, glass with his left, and very, very slowly. I mean, overly cautious. I don't know what. There. Oh, whoa! You trying to get me drunk? Oh.
So, one of the things I learned at the Heineken Brewery is that like you kind of start with the glass tilted, and then as the beer gets deeper, you go vertical and let the beer not run down the side of the glass, but go into the other beer to create the head. Because you want to have a little bit of head, you just don't want it to do what happened when I first poured mine.
Correct. You still got a little head on yours.
Yeah.
You're just going for it.
I am.
Finish it. Finish it.
Yeah, this stuff's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. I like it. So,
I'm not really getting the raspberry, but I definitely get the chocolate.
see, I got the raspberry at the tail end, so maybe I don't know what's going on.
We do a live taste test. Yeah, there's a little bit of fruitiness right at the end of there.
Okay. So here's the situation. I'll lay it all out, and then I'll just develop the story as we go. So, me and some high school buds, we said, hey, we need to have a boys trip. Where are we going to go? Let's not do Duluth. Let's not do Minnesota. Let's go somewhere. So there's lots of talks. I should really pull up the conversation because it made me. I hated the conversation. I actually called. I called one of my buddies and just said, "I am dying right now. This is so stupid."
Like because of the debate that was raging.
Kind of.
Or
so
what was stupid about it?
Because it was like. Okay, so let me lay it out. So we said, okay, let's just pick. So this is where the conversation went. I'll summarize. It was, okay, let's each put in 5 locations that we're interested in going to. And then, so there's 4 of us. So that makes 20 locations. And then from there, we can.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there because I got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
When you told this story before, I thought you each put in 20 locations.
No.
I was like, that is way too many.
No. So, but this is. I want to frame it so then everyone can follow where my head is at. So, this is how I envisioned this process happening. Okay, we all put in 5 locations that we want to go to. Cool with that. For me, I said, let's move this along very swiftly. I said, in an ideal world, so 5 times 4 is 20. So I said, okay, we have 2 rounds where each one of us eliminates 2 options. So it's like, we all 4 or whatever. Yeah, we all 4 contribute 5. I don't like your location. I axe that. And we do that. Everyone does that for 2 rounds. After 2 rounds, there are 4 choices left. And after that, we can do a ranking system, whatever.
Yeah.
What actually happened was rank 1 through 20, all 20 locations. And so we set it up. Someone set it up on this ranking site, and I was just like, I'm ranking the top 6, and I don't care about the rest because I'm like, I don't want, So that's how I approached it, and then it just kind of got out of hand because I don't want to say it got out of hand. So we did it. Excuse me. Pardon me.
Wow, that was a good one.
Is that a truth or a consequence?
I think that's considered a consequence.
So what we did is we ranked them, and the results came in. The results were winners. Number 1, Asheville, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Talkeetna, Alaska. Number 3, Las Vegas, Nevada. And number 4 was Milwaukee. And then number 5, I don't know. There's 5 options. Whatever. We did the top 5, I guess.
Where is
Memphis.
Talkeetna?
So that I don't know. It's in Alaska. I don't know exactly where, but I know it's like 2 or 3 hours away from. It's either Juneau or
Anchorage.
It's one of my buddies. His stepdad and mom own a cabin up there, and so this is also a boys' trip for a long weekend. Which to me, I was like, this is, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday most. And I was like, if I'm going to Alaska, sorry, I'm staying there for at least 5-6 days.
Yeah,
like I'm not
makes
going.
sense.
I'm not flying 6.5 hours or whatever and then driving 2 hours plus to get to this cabin to be like, wow, I'm going to stay here for a day and a half and then drive back and stuff. So that was my perception.
Makes
this is
sense.
all in my wheelhouse, right? So the only reason I suggested Asheville, North Carolina is because I've actually never been. I love the state of North Carolina. They got great food, but also plane tickets were like $150 round trip. I mean,
nice.
And I was like, slam dunk, right? And I have folks that have been there that are like, oh, it's very cool, very artistic, great lots of breweries, like all the stuff that Minnesotans do. So I said, this is to me an obvious choice if we're being budget conscious and a long weekend. Let's just, that's where my frame of reference was. Options were like, again, Milwaukee, New York City, Las Vegas. So I was like, Las Vegas can get expensive quickly if you do it that way.
Yeah.
I said it can be very cheap if you do it a cheap way, which right, wrong, or indifferent you can do. It's just a matter of,
what you're trying to get out of it.
Yeah, what are you trying to get out of it? So for me, I'm like, anyway, my frame of reference is, so eventually we narrowed it down right now. So the evolution of this is, okay, we narrowed it down to technically 5 options. Memphis was number 5, which that's cool. I want to look at the list again just to confirm sorry. So Asheville, Vegas, and Memphis were in my list of
they were ones you came
5.
up with?
Yeah. So I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I want to,
nice.
blow into my horn a little bit, just, so I'm not tooting it, but just kind of testing the waters. But
make sure it's clean when you're ready to toot it.
Yeah, sure, exactly. So anyway, so Asheville seems to be the leader, and so that's where some friend groups are just like, hey, we did this ranking system. Asheville's on top. Doesn't that win? And so I'm like, that's logical, but it sounds like we're gonna bring this up to another vote. So the next step was we discussed, and I just said, you know what, I'm gonna put this as a poll on LinkedIn and just see what my network says.
So the LinkedIn poll was not like a deciding factor. It wasn't the final vote.
No. So tomorrow it closes.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna see where the poll and everything comes in at. Right now, I gotta find it. What the heck? It was. I feel super unprepared just because I'm telling the story in real time. I'll pull it up here. Activity.
So we talked about this when we were together last weekend. Actually, you and I weren't even talking about it directly. It was just like
in
somebody else brought it up, and I only caught like the second half of it. But yeah, then I saw your poll on LinkedIn, and I voted.
Did you vote?
Yeah.
Let's see where you voted. You voted for North Carolina as well.
I did.
Ooh, I got another one. So right now we got, as of 4/20/2023, we have 24 votes from my network. We have 13 for Asheville, 5 for Talkeetna, Alaska, 1 for Las Vegas, 5 for Milwaukee. It's kind of, I think this is just very funny.
I'm really surprised that Milwaukee has more votes than Vegas.
So I was thinking that myself. However, pardon me. This is also my LinkedIn network, and there is a considerable amount of hospitality folks who went to, I believe it's UW Stout has a hospitality program, and so I worked in hospitality for my first 4.5 years out of college. So
that makes sense.
There are, I guess, 2 out of 5. So that's really a stupid point to make, but 2 out of the 5 are in hospitality, and they're fantastic folks. So if they ever listen to this, kudos to you, Kat and Paige. I actually never met Paige, but good for you. She worked where I used to work. So, but then, then it was another. Sam was a former coworker, very knowledgeable, very very bright guy.
World traveler.
Now, I don't know if he's a world traveler, but he is certainly. He came from Wisconsin. I think he went to school there. Maybe he grew up in Wisconsin, but I don't want to say he's got bias, but I think he's got street cred.
Sure.
So shout out to Sam. I believe you are true. And then my cousin, actually Luke, he lived in Port Washington, Wisconsin for many moons, and then he and his family moved to Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, and he also said Milwaukee is a good choice.
Detroit Lakes, great little town.
Yeah, it's a fun town, great town.
That's where I got my motorcycle license. Fun fact.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny. So there's one person I don't know who they are who voted for Talkeetna, Alaska. Which
is it like someone that's not in your network that somehow like stumbled on your poll?
It's like they requested to be in my network, and I just said I need to get more connections. I think I just made like I don't know this person, but I'm just gonna like it couldn't hurt kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so they voted. So I was like, all right, whatever.
Funny.
But yeah, so 13, North Carolina is still working. The poll is still open, so if this won't publish by the time it closes. No. But if for somehow you connect with me.
Yeah, add Zach on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So you can get in on the next polls.
Yeah.
And what's your LinkedIn name? Like, do you have I don't remember how LinkedIn works. Is there like a
It's my name, so if you know who I am, just look up Zach and Fountain, or look up Fountain Industries. And you'll find I'm there. I'm like the forefront of. That's where I work.
And you got a pretty close-up headshot, so you should be recognized.
Yeah, I'm bald with a beard, and I have a Hawaiian shirt under a suit coat. That's my picture. So if you can't figure out who I am from that description, I don't know what to do. I don't vote. You can't vote. You can't vote technically. This is in the past, but. You can find the poll and you can comment on it. So I did give explicit instructions saying, I'm scheduling a trip with my high school buddies for October. We're looking at 5 locations, rank them using this website. I narrowed it down to the top 4. We each had, I explained the whole situation. Then I said, please vote and share your thoughts in the comments. And I said, based on my network's travel knowledge and experience, which destination would you choose? Write your favorite reasons in the comments. And so I got literally 2 people to comment. One person, Ben, says, get out and do some cool stuff whenever you do. He voted for Alaska. So, and then Kat said Wisconsin, obviously. She voted for Milwaukee. Everyone who said Asheville did not comment anything. So, anyway. So, to conclude this situation, I would love to hear our listeners and where they would want to go based on that list. Of those 4.
Can you say them again?
I will say them again. Asheville, North Carolina, Talkeetna, Alaska, Las Vegas, Nevada, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Now,
is Talkeetna spelled like taquito? Just with a N and an A?
It's Talkeetna. Like talk. Eetna. Eatna.
I'm looking it up.
Mode. Anyway, so I would really appreciate if anyone could write comments on the YouTube page or, Twitter or wherever, Insta. I want to know if anyone's been there or has any insight. I feel like a lot of people our age has been to Las Vegas by now. So obviously there might be some bias. Milwaukee, I've heard, is a fun, great town. North Carolina, again, the South has amazing food. Like that was one of my arguing points for, like, what are we looking for in a location for a long weekend? And I said, not Midwest food. That was one of my things. Like, sorry, a bison burger, though good, you can get them a dime a dozen around here. And I would prefer to just get some grits or some I don't know, like, just even when I came back from Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
The food down there, they make it different. I don't know. It tastes exponentially better. You could get the same thing in the Midwest and it would not be remotely the same. I don't know what it is. And the more there's a lot of passion behind me in the South and the food in the South.
Yeah.
Like I want to retire or live down there. Like I will become obese. I will love it. I'll die early. It'll be worth it. It's like you can live long and work your ass off in the Midwest, or you can die young and eat like a king in the South. And to me, I'm just like, I don't know, the option B just sounds like a life well lived. I don't know. I'm just like, I almost get a little emotional about it. I'm just like, gosh, yeah, it's like, I love the food down there. Is like, kill me now because I'm happy. Like, this is like the greatest thing ever. Like, I love it. So I can't get over it.
One of our friends that's a pilot was in Kansas City a couple weeks ago, and he asked me he said he was going to I don't remember which barbecue place he went to, but then I was like, I listed off my favorite ones, and he was like, it really just got me thinking about how much I'd want to go to Kansas City for some barbecue. Q39 in Kansas City. It's my favorite barbecue place.
I'm telling everyone this because it's worth it, and it needs to be said. I probably said it multiple times on this damn podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I just want people to research it and like let it sit in and seriously consider it. So I want people to seriously consider buying a plane ticket to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, renting a car, driving 50 minutes north to Southport, North Carolina, and get an Airbnb, get a motel, hotel, and spend literally 3 days minimum. I would say 3 days minimum, where all you do is eat, go to the beach every single day, and tell me that is not
the perfect life.
I want to preface this too. If you go to the beach, make sure you have a giant umbrella or like one of those. It's a giant thing where you stick it in the ground, but it's like a U, and it has a flappy piece of fabric that it produces shade. It's really stupid, but it's super easy, super simple. You'll see tons of them, but you need that because the beach up there, like, it's 84 degrees and a little bit of humid, but when you get on that beach, it's like 98, and that sun is punishing. So get some shade for sure. Bring your sunscreen. Just bring a cooler with, honestly, just like Gatorade water. You don't even need drinks if you don't want to. But people read out there. People just like hang out. People throw the football. People crash into the waves. And like, salt life is real. It's very salty. It doesn't stink. Like the food is also like, I had some scallops. It was just, the food is reasonably, I want to say cheap, really. The amount and the quality of food and the amount of food for $23. Usually everyone's like, whoa, that's got to be a fancy dinner. This was like, if you got this in Minnesota, it would probably be at least $39, if not $45. This was $23, and it was like scallops, the best tasting scallops in the world. Not overcooked, not undercooked. I mean, hush puppies. I mean, you name it, they had it. It was amazing. Yeah. Sorry. So that's what you do. You fly into Myrtle Beach. You drive up Southport. That's where Nicholas Sparks movies are filmed. FYI. So Safe Haven. I don't know any other Nicholas Sparks movies, but I know they're filmed there. Yeah, so you can, reach out to me. I can show you pictures and tell you what to do with Southport. But if you have 3 or 4 days, I would say that would be, if you like beaches, that's where you should go.
Okay.
Anyway, so Ash, and then
This made me think.
okay,
Oh, wait,
I
sorry.
kept talking. No, keep going. Yeah, you go.
When I ask you, what are your favorite meals of all time? What are the ones that come to your mind right away? Because I've got a few.
Okay. In no particular order.
No particular order.
I can't. Yeah, I can't.
This is just off the top of your head.
Top of my head. The scallops I had no. The scallops in North Carolina were great, but there was a clam chowder in, I believe it was. I think it was Southport. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Clam chowder. I think I may have wept. I had tears coming to my eyes. So there's that. The next one, on the same vein, which is kind of curious, data point, a lobster bisque in Las Vegas for.
That was at the steakhouse. Yeah, I tried
yeah.
that. Yeah.
I had that for dessert. That's how
Yeah,
stupid
it was really good.
It was so good. So
I was sitting at a different table from you, and you stood up and carried it over so I could try it.
yeah, it was worth it, dude. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. So
That was good.
it's funny. Those are like both soups or chowders at some
Yeah.
point.
Actually,
chowder.
one of the ones on my list is also a soup.
Interessante.
Yeah.
Are we doing like top 5 or just like
just whatever comes to your mind? I think
So-
I've probably got 4 that come to my mind right away.
So it's those two. Those come to mind. Like those jump out at me. There have been. I can't remember where the steak was. I had an amazing steak, and then another time I had an amazing, like pork chop. Which pork chop, I'm never really like. You can either do a pork chop well or you can not.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, not. This place where I went, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, so again, I don't know where it is, but yeah, this is making, if you do a pork chop right, you can cook it where it's a little bit of pink,
Yeah.
juicy, tremendous flavor. You don't realize how much flavor is in a pork chop unless you do it right.
Yeah.
Again, I revert to the Midwest. Yeah, they make really good burgers and Juicy Lucy's, and that's like bison burgers. Ooh,
Mhm.
it's.
I can tell that you spent too much time in North Dakota because you say bison.
No, I have enough friends who are NDSU folk
Yeah.
to like that they've like it's subliminally been
It's just stuck.
it's
in your
rubbed
head.
off at me, and I don't agree with it because I just don't. But I think I do it out of respect for them because they have a decent football team, which I don't really care about. But
So,
sorry. So yeah, what about you?
Let me think. So, the first one that always forever, for like years, that came to my head was I went to Florida with my friend Brendan and his family. Little family vacation that I invited myself on, and
Awesome.
we went to this it was like for lunch. We went to this little seafood place, and I think it was like near Fort Myers. I wish I could remember what it was called, and they had this like stew that you could get. It was like seafood stew. It was like $35, and Brendan asked him about it. They're like, yeah, it's definitely for more than one person. So Brendan's like, you want to split it? I'm like, yes. And it was this bowl. It was like a punch bowl. And there was like shrimp, scallops, like oysters, all this stuff in this big stew. And we were just like, we would take the oyster shell, scoop up a bunch of the stew, throw a shrimp on top, and just eat the whole thing. It was so good. It was like a little bit spicy, but like not enough to stop you. Just like you just keep going. It was so good. That was like the first meal I ever had that I was like, that I could just vividly recall what it tastes like.
Gotcha. Okay. I was gonna say first meal you ever had. Like,
yeah.
Were you like 4 years old? Like, what are we talking here, bro?
No, we were in college.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
That's a whole story on its own. But
next time.
Next one, I was just like looking at a map here. I went to Berlin for work,
Berlin, Germany.
Berlin, Germany, yeah. And so I flew there, or I flew there. I met the guy there, and he took me immediately to this to the workshop, and I was working on stuff. I literally hadn't eaten for 24 hours. We get to the hotel at 9 o'clock at night, and the host at the hotel, whatever, is like, if you want German food, just go down the street, whatever. It's I don't know, 5-minute walk from our hotel. We walk in, and it's close your eyes and picture a German restaurant.
Okay.
That's exactly what it looks like. There's there's 100 beer taps. Everything's made out of wood. There's beer signs all over the wall. Apparently it'd been there for 150 years or something like that. And there's all these famous German people have been there.
Adolf.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Did he spend a lot of time in Berlin? Not sure. Probably. Anyway. We're looking through the menu, and they gave us the translated menu, right? So every page is
for the
one
dumb
item.
Americans.
Right. Every page is one item, and it's in 6 different languages. And so we're it's 100 pages, right? So flipping through it, and the guy walks over. He goes, "You know what you want?" And we're like, "No, we're still looking." He goes, "I know what you want." Flips to the back. It's all in German. It was daily special. And I'm like, I don't know what that says, but I trust you. So I got it. It was just pork shank and sauerkraut and potatoes.
Of course.
It was so good. Because I think partially because it was the first thing I'd eaten in 24 hours, but also it was just really good.
Were the potatoes mashed or
it was
scalloped
peeled potatoes that were boiled, so they were basically mashed potatoes, but not.
Okay. Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
Hand mashed, so they're not perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, next one. Probably the chicken sandwich that I had in
Hawaii.
Yeah. I just told that story this weekend. You were there. But yeah.
Hell yeah.
The only one, I was trying to think of what's the best meal I've ever had locally. Just a couple months ago, I went to this breakfast place with some of my friends.
Does it have a
in
name?
Egan? It's HOVIE''S.
Hovies?
So it's either Hovies or Hovies.
I would say Hovies.
I think it's Hovies. Yeah. But
not Hussies.
it's it's a little hole in the wall diner. They close at 2:00 because they only do breakfast food and lunch. Yeah. Family owned. So it's the wife is waiting, the husband is cooking, and then the little kid is sitting underneath the counter on his iPad or doing his homework, whatever. Yep. And the first time we went there, I got corned beef hash, and they were just so you know, it takes a little bit longer because it's all made in house. I'm like, yes, please. And they bring it out. It's exactly what I wanted. The hash browns and corned beef and onions all mixed together, and it was so good. It was because corned beef is hit or miss for me, but it was kind of sweet. I don't know what they did to it, but it was so good.
Damn. I'd like to add to my list as well.
Do it,
if I may.
Yeah.
I need to go to Hovey's, by the way.
You do.
That sounds like my kind of thing.
What are you doing tomorrow? You got to work?
Daddy's got to work, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Dang.
But
because one of my friends that he goes there every Friday because he works half days on Fridays.
Smart guy.
Yeah.
No. So the added to my list would be the Eagle in Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay.
The best biscuits and jam I've ever had. It was
Yum.
They were soft and fluffy on the inside and just slightly,
little
crispy on the outside, a little brown. They had what was the butter? I think it was honey butter.
Mm.
And then it was blackberry jam. And I bought, it was a side, and it was $4, and I was it's biscuits and jam. I was it's a Southern thing, and I'm just you got to do it. So I did it, and I was freaking blown away Like, I literally was, like, savoring every bite. And I said, what? Why do I live? Like, why do I choose to... Why do I accept the Midwest food when there's this much better food in the South? That's where I was, like, almost angry at myself.
Yeah.
Because I was like, why do I tolerate inferior tasting food? Like, I don't have that many more cycles on this earth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, why would I continue to eat this? It's not bad food. It's just like, there's better.
Right.
You know, it's like, who doesn't want the best?
Right. It's a good point.
It's just like a dumb thing to make, because it's like, the Midwest has all the highest wages,
Yeah.
other than like the coasts, but that's because they're metropolis, huge places.
And they have a higher cost of living.
Yeah, higher cost of living, but like, and we have a pretty high cost of living too, depending on where you live. But, and we have, so it's like, okay, so I mean, my job down in the South is not paid nearly what it would pay here, and so it's like, God damn, you know what I mean? That's where I'm at. I was like mad at myself. I said I should just, like, if you were smart, well, if we are smart, which we are, well, that's subjective, I guess. But
Speak
I'm
for
smart.
yourself.
I think I'm smart. I'm a reasonably smart dude.
I think you're smart.
I think you're a smart dude too. I think you're smarter than me. So, but for me, it's like, what the hell? We should be living in the South because we're young and they have terrible health care. And we should be like just taking all that in. And then when we get old and health sucks, move back to the Midwest where there's Mayo Clinic and, like, you know, healthcare and, you know, everything's good in the Midwest. Like, you should reverse snowbird it. Live in the South in the nice warmth and, like, while you're young and enjoy it. And then when you're old, come back to the Midwest to have, like, be taken care of.
Yeah.
You know, remove my hemorrhoid. Put rubber bands on that shit. You know, like, do stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I should, you know, we are young enough to still do that. But we just got our hands. The Midwest has their claws in us, I think.
Yeah.
Work, salary, all that shit. Crap. Sorry.
I want to be a snowbird, I think, when I'm older.
Hell yeah. Here's what I want to do. I want to be a snowbird, but I want to come back to some kind of either A, Airbnb, or B, a property in the Midwest for Christmas. I want to have a white Christmas. That's
true.
That's like, for me, it's like nothing says Christmas like a white Christmas.
Yeah.
There's something about the colors of white, green, red, gold, Jesus. You know, there's something about that just to me, like, feels like I don't want to say happiness.
Feels like home.
It feels like home. It feels warm. It feels like, I mean, jolly's the wrong term for me. I think it's accurate.
It feels right.
It feels right.
Yeah.
But it's like you have no worries. You're with family. You're surrounded by love, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's how I describe it. And it's like, all right, we open presents. The next day, it's like, get me on a plane to GTFO. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, get me out of here. Get me on a beach.
I haven't talked to them since they've been back, but so I don't know where they went. But my neighbors, they left like the week after New Year's, and they got back Easter weekend. That seems perfect.
Oh, so they were gone for like 3.5 months?
Yeah. 4 months probably. Yeah.
See, the key though is, if you're going to be a snowbird, you got to do it right. Depending on where they go, 6 months in a day, baby. For that tax purpose, man.
Yeah.
Minnesota's a very expensive state they're like, that's in legislation. They're trying to like get a certain amount of like retirement, like, because all the retired people leave.
Yeah.
To go to snowbird, to go to Arizona, North Carolina, Florida for taxes. In the 6 months in a day, you get all your income taxed at that state. So that's where there is incentive, and Minnesota's hardcore about, you know, monitoring that.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, no, you weren't here for 6 months in a day. You were in Minnesota for 6 months and a week.
Right.
That's our income. Like, and rightfully so. I agree. If I were the state, I'd go for that too.
I think it's like I get like as a retired snowbird, you don't really think about that, right? Because you don't have.
No, I think some people really do. That's the whole purpose. I think that's the main reason they're like, I like Florida. Let's stay here for 6 months and a day. I think some people actually look at it that way.
Yeah.
For me, I'm like, the way I look at it is, I want to be on the beach in North Carolina when I retire. And I want to come back for doctor's appointments to the Mayo Clinic. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Like, again, this is like, that's my plan. But
I want to have a winter home in Hawaii.
Gas.
After so like we went there last February.
Why not a summer home?
Well, my summer home would be in Minnesota, because Minnesota summers.
Why would you want to live in Hawaii all the time though? Do they have like a bad time a year?
It's 70 and sunny all year long.
Tough life, man. Yeah, I wouldn't want to live there year round either.
But it's expensive. So is upkeeping two houses, I suppose. But
tomato, potato.
Yeah. When we went there what, like 10 days, and I think that was the longest vacation I've ever been on where I wasn't ready to come home when it was over, you know?
Damn.
Like, like when you're on a long vacation, you're like, yeah, I'm ready to go home now. But yeah, it's like the coolest place I've ever been.
I'd like to go there someday. I like the hiking aspect and the beach aspect.
Yeah, it's got everything. And like Oahu, you can get from the very southern tip to the northern tip. You can traverse the whole island in like an hour. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So much to do.
Yeah, I mean, what would be smart? And maybe smart is maybe the wrong term. It would have to be evaluated, but actually, no, I will use the term smart. If it is evaluated, it would be smart if you had a group of friends.
Do like a mini timeshare, but just with your friends.
But yeah, so it's like you have let's just call it an LLC or something, where there are 7 couples. And let's just pretend for a second that, that's essentially, that's 7 household incomes.
Mm-hmm.
Either A, a cabin, or B, a location like a house or something in a cool, awesome vacation-y spot.
Yeah.
Where you rent it out, let's say 9 months out of the year, and the 3 months it's like you either take turns, or it's like you have a week where all 7 converge on that location. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it's possible to have these things that are not attainable on a single household income.
Mm-hmm.
If you split it up by 7 ways and share it. The key is when someone wants out. That's the thing. In the financial burden. So if it's $500 per household, I'm just making this up. I don't know. $500 a household times 7 times 5, what is that? 3,500.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy a pretty decent place somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
The key is if someone's like, well, I don't want to go there, and I don't want to pay $500. The rat's nest and what do I want to say? Disruption in a friendship. If someone wants out, is it fair for the rest of the remaining people who do want that to bear that? That's where it gets ugly.
Yeah. So you're speaking from personal experience because you did buy a house with a friend.
Yes, but it was the best thing ever.
Yeah.
The best thing, and the reason I say that is because we had strict terms and conditions, right? It said there is no buying the other person out. It is when we sell it all. Together, and we split everything 50-50.
Which I think is a lot easier to do with one other person than with
7.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's where that would to me it would be explicit. Like, no, there's no getting out of this.
We have it forever.
Unless we all want out.
Yeah.
Or we have not 51%. I would say like we need 70. Yeah, 2/3 or something like that to get for we all liquidate and get out.
Yeah.
That's my opinion, but honestly, that's I don't know if you see everyone, all your friends every damn weekend, or every other, or once a month. It's like, God, let's just buy something together and we can share it. And it's like you don't even have to. Oh, they can't make it that weekend when everyone else can.
Yeah.
But they get whenever the hell they want, kind of thing. Time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think a lot of friend groups, I know mine definitely did in high school. We talked about like we all want to buy houses on the same street. I think
Gross. Oh my God, your friends, you guys talked about that?
I mean, yeah, like so. We spent a lot of time at our friend. Oh, I won't say who it was. Our friend's cabin in high school.
Hold on. Let's assign a name. Toby.
At Toby's cabin in high school. We spent a lot of time there, and we were like, how cool would it be if we all lived on the same lake?
No, that's different though.
Yeah.
Like living on the lake versus having a lake house. Everyone has a lake place on the same lake.
Yeah, that's true. Because like, it doesn't matter where on the lake, you can just hop on the boat and go over there.
Well, I mean more so like if everyone's living on the lake, that's different than having a lake home. Everyone has the same lake, or a lake home on a lake, the same lake. You know what I mean?
So like, you're not your permanent house, you mean?
Yeah, not your permanent house. Like
Yeah.
this is like weekend. I'm going to the lake this weekend. Are you? No. Or yes, because I live there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if I conveyed that properly.
No, it makes sense. But yeah.
So you all wanted to live on the same. You all wanted to live permanently on the same lake next to each other.
Yeah. How sick
You
would
guys
that
are-
be? It'd be so cool.
I don't know. Depends who your friend group is, I guess. Because there are some people I know that I guess I'd be that person, or I'd be like, God damn, look at Tim's yard. Fucking not to my standard. My neighbor's an asshole.
Well, it's
Or I'll mow his grass because I'm crazy, right?
Would you rather do that with your friend or someone that's just an acquaintance that lives on the street with you?
See, I feel like there's this thing called like I don't know if it's called this. I would call it this. Is there are boundaries that as a neighbor you can pierce.
Yeah.
And you can say, listen, your yard is shit. And it's objective. It's like, yes, you haven't mowed your grass for 3 weeks. Everyone can see that. Do I need to call the city? You know what I mean? Like, so
when it's your friend, it's harder to do that, is what you're saying?
I don't want to say it. I think it's easier to do that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, everyone has their own expectations. You know, so like for me, I feel more comfortable. No, I think this is I'm backtracking a little bit into your point. So I feel more comfortable going to someone I don't know as well saying your yard is shit than to you saying, Tim, when's the last time you mowed your damn grass? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that would be harder for me. Or I'd be like, okay, I'll give Tim another day. And then another day passes and I'll be like, okay, I'm going to give him another day. Like I'll give my friends more rope.
Yeah.
And then it'll come a time and place where I'll say, I'm calling the city on you. I'm just kidding. But I'll navigate that. I'll probably go to their wives or husbands and just be like, so
you got to take care of this.
Do you need to borrow my lawnmower? Like, do you not have any gas in the tank? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
Which I'm hardcore, but I'm not heartless. I put that on a bumper sticker.
Hardcore, but not heartless.
A guy I work with said, I'm hardcore, but I'm not. He said it in the moment, and I was like, damn, that's a good bumper sticker, dude. And he's like, oh yeah, it's kind of good. But add that to the what is it? I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm passionate about it.
Yeah.
I love that. Are you trying to wrap up, or because I got more stuff? I got LinkedIn crap.
I got more stuff too. We can keep going.
You or me? You let's.
I'll go because I think
Yeah,
mine's
you go.
quick.
Okay.
I wrote down my 1.5 year long experiment is over. I'm switching back to Google Maps.
Yes.
I had a frustrating
why?
frustrating experience with Apple Maps the other day.
Gasp.
The road was closed
Act
for
surprised.
construction,
Okay.
and Apple Maps didn't know. And it wasn't like an easy reroute. So I had to pull out the Google Maps to figure it out. So yeah.
What? So it took one bad experience for you to switch back to the superior service. Gotcha.
That was probably. I mean, there
Final
was
straw.
a lot of minor bad experiences.
A lot of.
Not a lot, a few.
More than a couple.
And then that one was just like, how do you not know this whole road is closed? Because it was pretty obvious that the road wasn't newly closed; it had been closed for a while. So I was upset with Apple Maps. Yeah.
Well, welcome back.
I changed. It's on my home screen on my phone.
Welcome
Google
back.
Maps. Yeah.
I just want to welcome you.
Thank you. The other thing that I relied on Google Maps for is like if you're gonna go out to a restaurant, it's got way more reviews than the reviews that are on like the Apple Maps. I think Apple Maps maybe takes it from some other review aggregate site, but like
so. Yeah, and so this is, I mean, just to dissect this a little bit, I feel I'm a huge Google dude, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
However, this AI bringing up to speed, I feel as though once folks and companies and ideas understand how to harness AI,
mm-hmm.
we're going to see a lot more competition.
Yeah.
And so yeah, Google has they have the infrastructure, they have the backing, they have the Google guides like me that freely offer reviews, right? Like
yeah.
But like you said, what it only takes AI to like figure out and understand, like create a website, like TV food maps. Man, if I could buy that website, I would do it in a heartbeat.
What is that?
TV food maps?
Yeah.
So it pretty much takes any TV show that involves food in a restaurant in a location.
Oh,
you can
diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Yeah. So exactly, great example. So you can like search like Raleigh, North Carolina,
mm-hmm.
and you can find all the DDD TV shows. Any TV show that was filmed there, it will pop up, and it'll give like reviews. It'll say all that stuff, and it's called TV Roadmaps.
What I was picturing,
food maps, TV food maps.
What I was picturing when you first said that was like what's it called? Like in Hollywood, they have like the celebrity house maps. They take you on tours to like go to all the different celebrity houses.
Cribs,
celebrity star tour or something.
No,
like
Cribs,
that.
Isn't it Cribs?
No, it's like an actual thing you can do.
Oh,
that's what I was picturing, and then I was like, you go on a tour, and you're like, this is where John Travolta ate a sandwich in this movie.
No. This is. I mean,
that's
a great idea.
That actually sounds pretty cool.
Hey, I think we got someone here. Like, okay, Chat GPT this while I'm talking.
Okay.
But just say like, have it prompt and say like, list a number of locations where like John Travolta has eaten a sandwich in movies or something, and see what it pops out.
Okay.
I'm just curious.
All right.
But I'll keep talking. So TV roadmap or TV food maps, it's like TV shows like diners, drive-ins, and dives or whatever, where they're filmed, and like so you can search for a city, and it'll pop up all the restaurants that are on TV shows, which are it's really cool to me because if your restaurant sucks, it's not going to be on there, in my opinion, unless it's iconic in some way, shape, or form. So anyway, if I could buy that website, I would, and I would make it the amazing thing, and I would integrate AI with that. So, I don't know what we were talking about other than, what were we talking? This was your segment. You were taking the reins and
Google Maps.
Oh, Google Maps. Yeah. So I think, can you imagine if you created something similar to Google Maps that was like acted as a map or a navigation system, but also like it just was a Rolodex of just great places like, what if, like, let me back up. What if you created such a rigorous ranking system and review system to where only top tier restaurants emerge on top? And this is outside of revenue. So if you're like a Elon Musk or someone who's loaded, you can't pay to have your restaurant shoot to the top.
Yeah.
This is like purely user reviewed, and like it's very stringent and very hardcore, I would say.
Yeah.
To where, yeah, like, and you can sort by like, okay, I only want a restaurant that's 7 stars and above. Let's say it's a 10-star ranking system, and it's very rigorous.
Isn't that basically what Yelp is, though?
Yes, but no one uses Yelp in such a way.
Hmm.
Would you agree? I mean, Yelp it's user used, but it's not rigorous, I would say. Half the Yelp reviews I've seen have been people bitching about stuff, which I'm like, that if it's not constructive or not beneficial to the reader, that shoots to the bottom.
It's not a real review. It's just a complaint.
Yeah.
Which is different.
Very different. Exactly. I want a review. I don't want a complaint. If it's a complaint, if it's negative, shoot that to the bottom.
That'd be cool.
I think we're on to something, Tim. Okay, sorry. Right. What is ChatGPT?
So I said list restaurants John Travolta has eaten at in movies. It said, sure, here are some restaurants John Travolta's characters have eaten at in movies. Jackrabbit Slim's in Pulp Fiction, 1994. Pizza King in Saturday Night Fever, 1977. Frosty Palace in Grease, 1978. Jukebox Paradise in Look Who's Talking 2, 1990. Gold Room in Urban Cowboy, 1980. Mom's Diner in Michael, 1996. Dante's Inferno Room in Lucky Numbers, 2000. Izzy's Deli in Get Shorty, 1995. So, yeah, there you go. Those aren't real restaurants.
They're not?
Well, I think those are the names of the restaurants in the movies.
Hold on, I bet they could be real.
Should I ask?
If we use Google Bard, I bet we could fact check it. Yeah, I would Google that. GTS that. Google that shit.
Are those real restaurants? Some of the restaurants mentioned in my previous response are fictional and were created solely for the movies. For example, Jackrabbit Slim's in Pulp Fiction and Frosty Palace in Grease are not real restaurants.
Boo.
However, some of them mentioned do have real-life counterparts. Pizza King in Saturday Night Fever is a real pizzeria chain with locations in the northeastern United States. Additionally, Mom's Diner in Michael is based on a real diner in Iowa, USA. Interesting.
Iowa, USA, is that a state or a city?
I think it's the state of Iowa.
Boo.
I'll ask, where's Mom's Diner?
Okay. Anyway, okay. Good to know.
So this is actually a nice transition for my other topic I had written down.
Go.
Okay, it says the actual filming for Mom's Diner was in Santa Paula, California.
Not Iowa.
Yeah. So actually that's perfect because one of the things I had written down was the more I use ChatGPT, the less impressed I am with the current revision. Because actually my dad sent me a text me and said you should watch the most recent episode of 60 Minutes because they had a whole segment where they were like doing a deep dive into Google Bard.
Okay.
And the Google AI guy was saying like there's this problem with all the different like artificial intelligence they call hallucinations, where the AI is confidently wrong about something. Which, like, great example right there. They said that restaurant is based on one in Iowa. Then I asked, where is it? And they said, it's actually in California.
Is there a Mom's Diner in Iowa, though?
Probably. But
continue. Sorry, I'm just
anyway,
checking right now.
I had two examples. So once I asked, can you name a bunch of words that end with ETH? And it started naming words that ended with ATH, like EATH, like beneath.
Heath.
Yeah, Heath.
Health.
And I was like, no, that's wrong. Health. And then it's always like, sorry. I apologize for my confusing answer. Whatever.
Interesting. Okay.
And then it's like, try this instead. And it just does it again. Another example. Alyssa texted me. She was in Switzerland last week. She texted me and said, what was that book that we read that was like with the guy in space? Actually, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to give any spoilers. But the book she was describing was Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, one of my favorite books. And so I was like, I wonder if ChatGPT could figure that out based on how she described it. So I asked ChatGPT, and it said, The Martian by Andy Weir. And I said, no, that's not right because The Martian doesn't have this and this and this that I asked for. And it's like, you're right. The book you're describing is this. I'm like, no, that's not right. And it gave me like 5 different answers until I was finally like, no, the right answer was Project Hail Mary. And then it was like, described Project Hail Mary basically with all of the things that Alyssa used to describe it. I'm like, what the heck?
I was about to say, is it wrong? It's not wrong because I said maybe the description is wrong.
No.
But based on what you just said, that's incorrect. So
yeah. And the other thing is like it always provides its answers like it is the answer. Like it doesn't say it could be this. It says it is this.
Gasp.
So they call where it's confidently wrong, they call it hallucinations.
So do you lean more toward? So here's why I like Google Bard. I think I like the way ChatGPT presents it more.
Yeah.
Google Bard, the only thing I like about that, I mean, it's pretty. It kind of strips away like it's like point blank. It's how I would describe Google Bard. Also like a D- for the name. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't like
Bard
it.
is a dumb
Stupid.
name. I agree.
But
so is ChatGPT.
I mean, ChatGPT is at least I would argue better for what it is versus Bard. I mean, I don't know, whatever. But the thing I do like about Google Bard is at the bottom it says GTS. Google that shit. You know, so it's like you can fact check Google Bard, which is interesting to me because it's like. That
does it actually say GTS?
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
but it says fact check Google or Google Bard. I can pull it up. I'll show you so you don't believe me.
No, I believe you.
No, your face is like I don't really believe you. So
I'm not sure why you would lie about that.
I don't know why you would lie, or like I'm not lying about it, but like you shouldn't trust but verify, right?
Trust but verify. That's a thing that Bitcoin people say all the time.
Hold on. I'm just going to say list restaurants. Nicolas Cage. How about that?
There you go.
I can't type in.
How many do you think it's going to list? Because ChatGPT gave 8.
Ooh, hold on. I'm going to say list real restaurants. Nicolas Cage.
Oh, there you go.
Eaten at in movies. It's thinking. Do. Oh. Okay. So here are some real restaurants that Nicolas Cage has eaten at in movies. The Waffle House in Las Vegas, Nevada, leaving Las Vegas, 1995.
Where is the Waffle House in Las Vegas?
I don't know.
Me either.
Well, we'll find out because at the bottom it says Google it. So, the Palm in New York City, the Grill Room in the Four Seasons Hotel in Los Angeles, the French Laundry in Yountville, California, the Old Homestead Steakhouse, the Hard Rock Cafe in Las Vegas in Ghost Rider movie 2007. Didn't know that. The Culver City Diner in Culver City, the Waffle House in Phoenix, Arizona in the movie Joe 2013.
A lot of Waffle Houses.
That is a trend. Nicolas Cage. The Palm in Los Angeles. The Pig in Portland in the movie The Pig in 2021. I'm going to Google it.
Does it just like then Google your question?
Yeah.
And see what the Google results are?
Pretty much. It says, yeah, Nicolas Cage restaurants and movies. And there's some YouTube videos. Yeah, so just kind of it just Googles your search, or your prompt to Bard.
Did it give you anything close to what Bard actually said?
The first response. So the top ones are like a Reddit thing, restaurant scene from the movie Pig. Fantrippers.com. I don't know what that is. A scene in which Nicolas Cage returns to the restaurant. So YouTube video. So didn't really help actually.
So the Google Bard gave a better answer than real Google.
Yeah, I'd say. But
Yeah.
we also it didn't fact check either, so we don't know if
True.
Bard is correct. But
True. Maybe it was hallucinating.
It's entirely possible. Yeah. What else you got?
The last thing I had, I was gonna save for the very end of the podcast. So if you
Okay.
got something, go for it.
Okay. It's just something that I'm curious because I haven't dived deep into it because to me it doesn't make a ton of sense. But I see these things where it's like Bitcoin mines pump out pollution. A virtual currency produces real world pollution. You
want to know a fun fact?
Yeah.
AI actually produces more pollution than
Well, no. So
crypto does.
with that being said, I just want to talk about that because I've also seen articles where it's like it wastes this much water, and pollution and all that stuff. So I'm just kind of trying to understand. So is it like, are they quantifying? Like they don't actually use water, or is it just electricity and like the kind of usage it's using? I mean, I feel like it's a talking point or just a something for an article that, I mean, you look at my carbon footprint compared,
So
I waste a ton of shit. Like, what are you talking about when you say ChatGPT wastes 300,000 gallons of water every year? Like, what does that even mean?
So I'm not really sure about where they're getting the statistic for water waste. So maybe they're using like hydroelectric power for that or something.
Sure, yeah.
But it is an unequivocal fact that Bitcoin uses a shitload of electrical power.
Mhm.
Like, I think the most recent stat that I've seen is like it uses more power than like El Salvador or something like that. Like the entire country.
A third world country.
Yeah.
Surprise.
So actually, politically correct, developing country, not third world.
Is that
That's the
no
the
way.
new that's the
Is
new
that
correct.
really the new thing?
Yeah. I don't know when that started.
Some countries are
but I learned that
in a
college.
continuous developing stage, I guess, right?
True.
Okay.
Anyway, but it's a very nuanced topic because Bitcoin mining is all about like incentives. Like if you're paying, like basically as a person consuming electrical power in a home,
Yep.
it's not cost effective for me to try to mine Bitcoin even with the best hardware possible because my electrical power is so expensive. Basically, the way Bitcoin miners work is they go where the power is the cheapest because that's their one big cost.
Okay.
It's basically hardware and electrical power. So the places where power is the cheapest are places that are fully renewable energy, like Iceland. Like, because Iceland, they get their power from the
Sun.
geothermal,
Mm.
like from the underground heat. So it's basically free. And that's why there's tons of Bitcoin miners in Iceland. There's also tons of Bitcoin miners in Texas because a lot of their power comes from wind energy.
Sure.
And so they go where the power is the cheapest. The other place they go is like the very fringes of the electrical grids where it's remote. This power is being generated anyway.
Mm.
And if someone is not there to consume it, then it goes to waste. So they can get energy there on the fringes of these electrical grids for way cheaper than in large cities and stuff. So they
Okay.
go to those places where the energy would be wasted anyway. So yes, it's using a lot of power, but it is a nuanced topic where like you have to think about like
Well-
all these other points of fact where like their power is a lot of it is coming from renewable energy. A lot of it is coming from power that is already generated that was going to be wasted.
And that's like, again, I revert back to when these things pop up when they say, look at all this energy waste and all this energy being consumed by AI or Bitcoin or whatever, right? And I'm just like looking at this like, okay, where does it end? I mean, like, let's just say Snapchat. You know what I mean? Like, where does it end? Like, where do you draw the line? Because you're just like, you're literally just pointing at something and attributing a metric, really, because it's like, it's not peanut butter spread everywhere.
Yeah.
The same.
You know what else?
So it's like, you know
what else uses more power than Bitcoin mining or AI?
NASA. I don't know.
Not sure if that's true, but Christmas lights.
Yeah. So it's like, where do you draw the line?
You know what else uses more power? Dryers. So we should all just hang dry our clothes, right?
Yeah, but that ain't fast enough.
Yeah, exactly.
But point taken, though, right? Like, I mean, that's where I get frustrated with these articles that like are bashing, I would say, advances.
Yeah.
You know, AI or Bitcoin, anything, you know, like anything like that, when they're just like, it's wasteful or it, you know, uses this much energy. It's kind of like, okay, you're choosing one thin slice out of like a Rolodex of a ton of things. It's like, I could pick anything. I could, right? How much does energy of electrical cars cost?
Yeah.
Like, let's slice that and dissect that, right? I mean, like, oh my gosh, you know, like, pick and choose. It's semantics at the end of the day, and it's however you want to look at it.
I did see there are people that are hardcore, like Bitcoin only. Every other cryptocurrency is a scam, right?
Okay.
And because there's not like Bitcoin is pretty much like it's ossified where it's not making new changes.
Okay.
And it's pretty much like, this is what Bitcoin is. This is what it's always going to be, right?
Sure.
So I think a lot of these guys that are like this are just bored and they're just trying to come up with new things to talk about.
Sure.
And I saw one the other day that was like comparing how Bitcoin is just as efficient as electric cars because the power isn't generated by the Bitcoin miners, it's generated by the electrical companies, just like how the power for electric cars isn't generated by the car, it's generated by the electric company.
It's so amazing. Like, I don't want to say people are like, they're not wrong. I don't want to say they're wrong, right? But it's like drawing conclusions in the path they take. It's very interesting when you're like,
it's mental gymnastics.
Yeah. And it's like, damn, like that iron cross, I cannot get that. You know, I don't do that. You know, but no, it's just super interesting to me, and I love the ability to poll on LinkedIn. I'm going to use that now. So
yeah,
listeners, vote, connect with me.
Yeah. Now, if you get connections requests from random people, you have to accept them because you encourage them to do it.
Yeah, but like, make sure like you bring something to the table.
You can put a little message in there, right? Like, I came from Couch Beers.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
That way I know.
Yeah.
If you just say some BS of like, I think you're a great fit for this company I'm recruiting for, I'm going to be like, not interested. Ka-chow, you know, but
yeah.
But yeah, say I listened to you and I'd be like, don't believe everything you hear. Well, what is that bumper sticker we're going to say? I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm passionate about what I'm saying.
That's not exactly what she said, but I like it.
But we got to throw that on a bumper sticker. I already committed that we're going to have some merch, and it's almost May, so I need to get on that.
Okay. So you ready to close it out?
I'm ready to close it out, unless you got one thing.
Yep,
or
my
two
last
things.
thing. So I was talking about the 60 Minutes thing about AI.
Yep.
In that 60 Minutes segment, the AI wrote a poem. I think it was like Google Bard wrote a poem where they gave them like a prompt of I don't remember what poem it was, but it was like a 1-line poem. They were like, finish this poem. And the AI wrote like really deep, like kind of, it almost made me tear up because it was
Damn.
It was,
do you know what it is?
It was pretty intense.
Yeah,
I could probably look it up, but we'll save that for another time.
Okay.
But I asked ChatGPT, write a poem pontificating about man's place in the universe. And I'd like to share it with you to close out the show.
Okay.
Man stands amidst the vast escape.
Start over.
Man stands amidst the vast expanse of the universe endless dance, a tiny speck upon the stage. In this cosmic play we engage. But though we may be small in size, our minds can reach up to the skies to ponder questions great and deep, and in their answers secrets keep. We seek to know the stars above, the mysteries of life and love. And though we often fall short, our quest for knowledge is our fort. For in this universe so grand, man plays a vital, humble hand, a steward of this earthly home, with power to both create and roam. So let us cherish our place here, and seek to learn, explore, and share. For though we may be small and meek, our potential is vast and unique. Boom.
Damn. That was ChatGPT?
Yep. Not bad, huh?
Not bad. That's pretty profound as hell.
Yep. Pretty cool.
So, all right. Well, nice.
Couchbeerspodcast@gmail.com. Couchbeerspod on Instagram.
Follow, like, subscribe, hit that bell. Ka-ching.
Find us on YouTube. Couch Beers. Bye.
Bye. See you next time.